Hello my friends, I'm Lisa Young Sutton, and today I'm sharing a mediumship reading I did for a dear friend's dog who recently transitioned into spirit using the Petit Lenormand, as well as a few other decks that I'll share with you. Now this is a reading for a beautiful beagle named Snoopy and his parents Melissa and Eric. So let me start by showing you the deck I am using. This is the Sawyer's Lenormand. That's the cards you see here. I'll show you the dog card in that deck. Isn't that adorable? Not a beagle, but a basset hound. Close, right? Now this card here comes from the Mystery Secrets Lenormand, which I did not use for this reading, but I remembered that it had a beagle for the dog card. And it looks so much like Snoopy that I thought I would place it here just for a visual. Okay. Now, I generally begin animal communication sessions with automatic writing and pendulum work, but for this reading I was moved to jump right to the cards, which made it a perfect reading to share here on my channel. So when I begin with the Lenormand cards, I generally lay a box, as it has just enough cards to give me a complete story. And my intention with that first lay of the cards is always the same, and it's just to connect with the animal and just ask them to describe where they are and what they're experiencing, okay? And I've noticed a pattern over the years whereby the readings I perform for recently transitioned animals show that they are still very much with their families, okay? So let me just jump right into this interpretation. Now, as you can see, the first card I drew was the star, and that's very typical for the readings that I do. For mediumship, I usually get the star, the lily, the sun, or maybe the ship or the stork, followed by a positive card, as you know, within the box, and it's usually one of the first four cards even. So what is the star? I mean, the star is the card of a successful new path and the card of healing, right? And now remember, this is from the dog's point of view. Okay, transitioning out of the physical body is the ultimate healing, right? You're no longer encumbered by your physical body. All right. It's also the card for transcendence. It's the card of divinity. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to point out is the center card here, which is the card of confusion or of being invisible. Notice the card above is the card of grief, and the heart sits below. He's confused by the state of grief in the home that's connected to him. Okay? This is also very common. Now I'd like to point out the hidden issue card is the ring, and that shows that Snoopy is still connected and bonded to his home and family. All right? The connection is still there. It's still going around, right? Now, looking at the top row, which contains the cards that carry the heaviest weight, we have the card of transcendence followed by grief, which is being anxiously chattered about. The birds is also the sound card, okay? And that's, I'll explain that in a moment. The middle row begins with the card of freedom and the unrestricted ability to move about, right? To be able to move about freely. That's the fish. It's also the card of abundance and having all that you want and need. Now, the light side of the clouds is facing this, but the dark side of the clouds is facing the moon, which is the card of being acknowledged, being recognized. Okay? So we could say with this whole corner here that he's not being seen, he's not being heard, he's not being acknowledged. Okay? In other words, he's wondering, like, why did everybody stop talking to me? Okay, so the bottom row indicates that he's still very much connected to everyone. He feels nothing but love and joy and is still very much a part of the earth plane. He is still rooted. The tree card, when I do mediumship readings, the tree card is the card of the earth plane. It's the card of the physical body as well, but it's also the card of the earth plane and being rooted on the physical earth. Okay? Now the first column speaks of Snoopy's transition of following the light from above flowing freely and limitlessly while still being bound to his family and home. The middle column indicates that what he's experiencing in the home, right? This is the grief and the misfortune that are impacting their hearts, right? We could say distress and troubles are hanging over love and joy, okay, or weighing on the love and joy, okay? Now the final column, tells me that Snoopy is sensing that he is not seen, right? This is also it's not just the sound card, but whenever the tree shows up in a reading, I look to the health associations for the cards, and this is my card for the eyes, right? Bird's eye, right? Okay. And yet, so, along with the card of recognition, I felt that he's feeling that he's still here. He's still rooted on the earth plane, but he's not being recognized. He's not being seen or heard. Okay. You could also say that this final column shows that troubles, right? This is passing troubles, are discussed daily, right? With a focus on what's considered an unhealthy situation. We've kind of got the dark side hanging over the tree there. Okay. Now, the alternate diagonal, that's this backwards diagonal here, shows upsets regarding the elusive bond. Okay, now this is for Melissa and Eric. They are upset because they cannot see that this bond still exists. All they can see is that Snoopy is no longer physically with them. Okay? The primary diagonal, that's 1, 5, and 9, shows that Snoopy's new and enlightened path is one that's not clear to see, but he is still rooted. Okay? Now take note of the moon as the card of focus, but with the dark side of the clouds touching it, that makes it unfocused, because that is one of my key words for the clouds is unfocused, right? So they're just not seeing that he's still there. He's still with them, right? So the answer for Melissa and Eric is to talk to Snoopy as if they can still see him, okay? Talk to him like he's there, because he is. He's very much with them. He can see and hear them, so they need to act like he's still there and talk to him and open their hearts to him. Now the clouds and cross above the heart are significant because they show that grief has closed the heart planes, right? The heart space, the heart chakra, right? That prevents spirit communication. When you are stuck in that state of grief, you will not be able to see or hear their messages. You won't be able to sense them or feel them, whatever it is, okay? They will be able to sense his presence if they can let go of the grief and focus on the love that they share with him, okay? So I was then moved to grab a few other decks. And I am making a video soon on animal communication. It's not really about cards, but it is about my techniques and methods for animal communication, okay? And I will explain how I choose decks if I use them. But for this session, I was moved first to go to the Talking to Heaven deck by Doreen Virtue and James Van Prague. And I was led to this card. I see all of your thoughts. Now, when I do use oracle decks like this, oh look, I opened right to the page. I don't read the entire passage. I let my eyes, just like with bibliomancy, right? You just open the page and you let your eyes go to a certain verse. Well, that's what I do with these books. I just see where my eyes go, and my eyes went right down here. I will read this. It says, so whenever you'd like to talk to me, know that I can clearly hear you. Just think my name and then trust Very important. Trust the thoughts and feelings that you receive from me. I'd like to add to that you do have to open your heart first to be able to do that. Okay, now next, I was drawn to my Magical Dogs Tarot. Really cute deck. And it's got a nice guidebook too. And I was moved to draw 2 cards. I drew these 2. This one is the 4 of Sky, which would be the 4 of Swords, and this is the Earth Alpha Female, which would be the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, I'll just place them there. And I did the same thing with the guidebook. Just let my eyes go to the passage that I want. And the passage was... This message, by the way, I'm sorry, when I drew these cards, this message was specifically for Melissa. The 4 of Swords, I saw practice self-care as well as allow others to help you facilitate healing. For the Queen of Pentacles, I saw nurturing your pack is a joy for you as you offer the comforts of hearth and home to those around you. But while you're busy caring for others, keep your own life balanced. Now, both cards are saying the same thing, right? That Melissa is a caregiver. She is a giver. She is someone who puts others first and is always thinking of others. But Snoopy, in his transcended state, right, can clearly see that she needs to take care of herself too. So I was then moved to draw 1 more card, which I went to my Divine Dog Wisdom cards, another great dog-themed deck. This is an oracle deck. And I drew this card. Passion, do what you love, okay? So I did the same thing with the book, and my eyes went right to passion is what makes life worth living. So Melissa, Snoopy sees you taking care of everyone else, but possibly neglecting your own needs. So he wants you to spend more time pampering yourself and doing what you love. Okay, so that is it for this video. Melissa and Eric, let me know if you have any questions. And for all of those of you who have been asking me for more information on animal communication, as I said, I am going to be filming a video next on my techniques, okay? That is it for today. Now, all of you who have pets, please go and hug them. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.